Today on EA Sports. It's Week 8 of the NFL on EA Sports. The Minnesota Vikings taking on the Green Bay Packers.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. Again, everyone, Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club, they can't be any better as we hit the halfway mark. A perfect 7-0 on the year.
And when we looked at this team in August and we looked at the schedule, we thought they had the potential to get off to a hot start. But I don't think either of us expected 7-0.
Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. And a look here now at their fourth-year quarterback.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
Now a play fake here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
To throw on second down, Mobley. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. We'll see what they have drawn up here, a little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
Well, how about the challenge we're seeing here in this game early? Man coverage against some fleet receivers. That time, the defense won.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And trotting out there, a guy who's established himself as a veteran in this league, now in his 5th year at quarterback.
And I think if you ask most folks to give you their first half MVP, very likely they're going to say it's this man right here. The NFL's leader in touchdown passes to this point in the season. Still 2 months to go. But if he can keep going to the pace he's at, this is going to be a dangerous team come January, and he could very well walk away with the MVP.
And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, first down. And they'll keep leaning on the running game, back to the ground. And he's got some space here. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. His 11th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football. All right, when you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You say, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. McKenzie will not return this, and it'll be brought out to the 25. The Packers offense here coming back out for their second drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out. And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Back to throw. Mobley under pressure again, and down he goes again. They get to him for a loss of 4, and it brings up 3rd down on the sack.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Back-to-back sacks have this place in a frenzy as they line up again, 3rd and long now. Looking to throw. Mobley. He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether it's seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. And they are trying to create some separation within the division. And look, CD, I know that this is still the first half of the season, but this is a big matchup no matter where it falls, because these are the top 2 teams right now in that division.
And if you can build a bit of a cushion as you head towards the second part of the season, that allows you to survive the expected injuries, potential upset losses, all of those things, and still be in good shape.
And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. Well, you and I, partner, we got the plum assignment this week. An unbeaten team against a 1-loss team. Really not much separating these two entering play here today.
Not much at all, and I think for both coaches, they've looked at their team and said, guys, you got to know what you're getting into in this one, and you better be ready to go, because you get to answer the big question of the day. Are we as good as we think we are? We're about to find out. But this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. Touchdown! A big play there. His 11th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Another impressive drive, so they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ball game for them.
And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, and not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced a punt to get the ball back, and they played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimum level.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's polished off by a Viking score. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. McKenzie will not return this, and it'll be brought out to the 25. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Off the play fake. Mobley. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
At least this time he's getting hit after a positive play for his offense. The pressure was coming through yet again, but he certainly didn't stick around for the sack on this occasion. Found an escape route and ended up getting the first down before taking the hit.
A throw over the middle taken in. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
Well, it certainly doesn't matter if it's been through the air like on this play or on the ground. I don't know what's going on with this defense. In a sense, they've been AWOL on this drive so far. 3 plays, 3 first downs given up. They've got to find answers, and they've got to find them quick.
Well, tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
Throwing to start the drive. Gary forced out to his left, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect.
There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. 55 yards. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, still in the first quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
Extra point right down the middle, and it's now 21-0. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Green Bay's offense ready to go again. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. (21-0) our score after one. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Mobley. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. Back to throw. Mobley. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the first half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
From the gun on 3rd down. Mobley. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down. Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
So here are the Vikings to take over. They've got the lead right now, and remember, they are riding that very impressive 7-game winning streak, trying to push it to 8. Throwing to start the drive. Gary. Looking right sideline, that's complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
And this one almost... Intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. Looking to throw. Gary flushed out right. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Again, he'll drop to throw. That ball nearly intercepted, but he could not hang on. Oh, pick there certainly would have been nice. Instead, at least it'll be 4th down. And this one is right through. And the route is on. It's 24-0. So everything else has gone right in this first half. Kind of follows that it would for their kicker, too, as he adds 3 more onto the lead.
Yeah, and the way that this one's gone, definitely not looking like he's going to have to worry too much about pressure kicks late in the game. He can go out there free and easy, just work on his form, and he knocked that one through.
Now the Packers get set to go. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
They'll try the left side. Dodson. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This will be fielded at the 17. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Minnesota now ready for their next possession. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
No, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Throwing to start the drive. Gary. And this one's incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And he slings one that's incomplete.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
To throw on 3rd down, Gary. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A big play there on the catch and run. 37 yards. Throwing on 1st down. Gary. That one tipped, and it's incomplete. But good hands there defensively at 2nd down.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
And he'll send the tight end in motion left. Throwing again. Gary. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football?
And it'll be intercepted. And the Packers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. CD, when he went to throw that, I'm not sure if he just didn't see where the defense was. Whatever the case, not the throw you're looking for on 1st and goal.
Not at all, because, look, let's face it, that close to the goal line, if you throw an interception, is going to hurt on any down. But really, the only down you can kind of live with is if you do it on 4th down. The first 3, if you don't have it wide open, just get rid of it. Make sure they can't get it and live to fight another down. 1st and goal, and you throw the pick, not good at all.
They'll run on 1st down. Dodson, and they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to have a Packers 1st down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. Well, they've already allowed 3 sacks in this 1st half. Now a holding penalty.
So I think drastic measures had to be taken, right? The regular way was not working. He was getting hit almost every snap, it felt like. They had to try and keep him upright.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
And he'll just get rid of it.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
To throw on 2nd down, Mobley. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. On 3rd down, Dodson. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down. On now is the Packers punter as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
I certainly thought he had an open look beyond the 1st down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
A final shot before break. Gary. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this 1st half of play. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Hi again, everybody. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the league here in the unofficial midway point, Week 8 of the NFL season. We'll begin out in the windy city of Chicago, and it's the Niners who have the lead in that one. The 49ers trying to gut this one out, as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. From there, we're off to check out another game. And you can see there, it's the visiting LA Rams who have the lead in that one. The Rams looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. Lastly, we'll grab our passports and head down to Mexico City. See what's going on in the International Series. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting Carolina Panthers. The Golden Eagles locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race, very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And we will not see a return to start the half, as this will be a touchback. And the Vikings set to go on offense to begin the third quarter. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 72 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
On 3rd down, Gary. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 23 yards, the final tally.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved, because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a first down.
On 1st and 10, Gary. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Gary. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. A 14-yard touchdown. And the Vikings take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. McKenzie will not return this, and it will be brought out to the 25. Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. Operating from the gun. Mobley into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. And right about now, you start to think, and maybe they're starting to think, gosh, maybe points aren't going to happen for us in this game.
Well, it's a thought that is worth having because so far in this game, this defense has not just had the upper hand. They've appeared to be a step ahead, maybe even 2 steps, to everything they've done. They've had an answer for everything this offense has thrown at them.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. 102 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
On second down, they'll run it here. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a first and goal. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. His second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Vikings have got it on cruise control. A familiar refrain, a turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this third quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, time to start stretching and loosening up. You may get some playing time in this one.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So that drive, 4 plays. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. McKenzie will not return this, and it'll be brought out to the 25. The Packers offense set to go. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
On first down, Mobley. Oh, what a juke into space. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. Now whistles here, flag down. I think one of the Packer linemen was moving. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Off play action. Mobley. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. And the Vikings are going to get it back here just past the 35.
Well, it certainly feels like this defensive group has figured this guy out to the tune of a big lead in this one. And you know that he's frustrated with how this game has gone. And now with back-to-back interceptions, he's got to find a way to get out of his own head and start making better plays.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 131 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Off the play fake. Gary. He's going to air one out. And this is taken in at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And that last throw is going to keep him climbing that all-time passing yards leaderboard as he crosses the 25,000-yard mark now for his career.
He just recently passed Bart Starr. Next up for him, Bob Greasy. That's 2 Hall of Famers, 2 Super Bowl winners, multiple Super Bowl winners. So he's getting up with the legends now. Congratulations.
They'll come out in the pistol. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
To throw on 2nd down. Gary. And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line. It'll go as a sack for a loss of a yard, and now it'll be 3rd and goal. 3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. 4 yards, that gets him close to the goal line, but it also brings up a 4th and goal. Defense keeps him out of the end zone there. Now, will they go for it? And if so, can they do it one more time?
Yeah, I just don't know if it's worth it going for it, because what we've seen from the defense so far, every gap is taken care of. Everyone is sound in their coverage. No one is breaking free, and those ball carriers are getting tagged. If I were them, I'd think very hard about just taking 3 points and taking their dignity and moving on.
And the ball's at the 2, spotted at the 2, so a pretty good chunk to go. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. He had 3 touchdowns already, but won't get a 4th here. And the Packer defense stands tall down by the goal line. Throwing on 1st down. Mobley. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. Thanks to that last play, a little more room to operate. 1st and 10 at the 18. Back to throw. Mobley. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 22. Looking to throw. Mobley. And this will be caught by his big wide receiver. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. 22 yards there, a first down. Operating from the gun. Mobley. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game film from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of putting it behind them.
And they'll get this across the midfield stripe, but still winding up short of the first down. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down. On now is the Packers punter as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. 148 yards for him on the ground now on that, his 20th carry of the ball game. 3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Gary. It's a short one here, complete. Oh, now he's stripped. He lost the football. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete. But their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Gary. Wide open receiver complete. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Extra point attempt to come here. Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. McKenzie will not return this, and it will be brought out to the 25. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny. I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run, have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
To throw on second down, Mobley. And down right around the 32-yard line, 40 yards on the pickup. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Operating from the gun, Mobley. And that is incomplete.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
Oh, now he's stripped. He lost the football. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Was hoping to make a play there on the return with his speed. Instead, he makes a play for the other side.
Yeah, and how many times have we heard coaches say, you know, sometimes it's not really about those X's and O's we drop. It's about those Jimmies and Joes. And when you have a punt returner, he's one of those Jimmies and Joes, one of the best athletes. He's unable to make the play that they receive.
And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Extra point right down the middle as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They came into this one with a vision, Charles, and it has played out exactly as they had hoped, if not even better. They've got the huge lead here, and now the football for the final moments of the fourth.
Yeah, and it was apparent that they were the better team, right? We figured that out pretty early, but give them a lot of credit for staying with it. They didn't stumble around out there. They didn't create a lot of errors for themselves because they were the superior team. They took care of business and closed them out pretty quickly.
Looking to throw on second down. Gary. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
To throw on third down. Gary. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Warner. And they work this well upfield across the 45. But Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for Minnesota, they continue to cruise as they move to 8-0 now on the campaign. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, They dropped just their second game so far as they fall to 5-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against the Chicago Bears. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Tonight, from State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona, it's Week 9 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Minnesota Vikings.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Valley of the Sun at State Farm Stadium here in Glendale. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Arizona Cardinals. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Cardinal team as they get ready here. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And trotting out there, their tall quarterbacks down to get 6'5".
And I think if you ask most folks to give you their first half MVP, very likely they're going to say it's this man right here. The NFL's leader in touchdown passes to this point in the season. Still 2 months to go. But if he can keep going at the pace he's at, this is going to be a dangerous team come January, and he could very well walk away with the MVP.
Throwing to start the drive. Gary throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That's good for 28 yards.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 47. Oh, and that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line. And they get 17 more on that one and another first down. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on first down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they got the defense set back on their heels.
Oh, now he's stripped. He lost the football. And the Cardinals have got it. Going the other way. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
You remember in preseason when we were going to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills, and, you know, guys either slapping at the ball or the machines. You got to learn to take care of it.
Yeah, they lost it there. Big fumble. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. And a glance here at the vet. He's got a lot of years under his belt in the National Football League.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it in the middle of the schedule. Following the fumble recovery, Clayton. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much. This defense for the Vikings, they played extremely well last week in that win over Green Bay.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
On running plays, linemen, of course, have their assignments. That's expected. But it's not often you're expecting to see a cornerback blitzing in run support and tackling the runner for a loss.
And the defense, they'll spread the field, a dime package here on 3rd and 12. Looking to throw. Clayton. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
And I think this is a situation where a quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long, and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and punt the football.
Let's go now. 19 Tiger, 19 Tiger.
On 1st and 10, Gary. Well, the corner gets a hand on it, but he still makes the play. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. To throw on 2nd down, Gary. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
A missed opportunity for an interception would have killed off a drive. They had a chance there to finish things off. Didn't get it done. I guess that's why a lot of those guys do not play offense.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. Back to throw. Gary steps away to his left. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. On 4th down, Gary. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Cardinal defense is going to get the football back. Oh, offensive nightmare there. You go for it on 4th, and the play doesn't even really get to develop a sack.
And it's so unfortunate, too, because you think you've got something good called, but if your offensive line can't hold up, that's often the result. They find a way back to the...
So the Cardinals offense back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. Coming off every player's friend, the open week from last weekend.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Even if you're coming off of a loss, as they did, the open week is exactly what you need after you kind of get over it a little bit, right? Rest up the mind, rest up the body, get yourself ready to go. And they have to be eager to play again, especially since they lost the last time out.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Up the middle they go. It's Fisher, and some room to maneuver. And he's going to get this all the way down to the Vikings' 25-yard line. 45 yards rushing for him now in his first 2 carries of the ballgame. And the elder statesman with a big run. He's hit that dreaded 3-0. He still can churn it.
I love the way you treat him with respect.
Respect.
Elder statesman. You didn't just call him an old guy or anything like that.
Call you an elder statesman.
I love the way he can still play. Talk about running it with...
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd. Looking to throw. Clayton. But it's caught. Tompkins. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you wonder, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. A great effort there. His 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead. The extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
It certainly is. And if you're wondering if anybody's saying, boy, this is coming at a bad time, we want to keep playing, the answer can be yes. Because when teams are on a hot streak, they want to keep going. But what the veterans are telling the young guys in the locker room,
nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
So, Charles, you look at this offense, and really on paper, at least, a great situation for them upcoming. They're unbeaten on the year, an open week coming up after this. So I guess my question, any worry that maybe this is coming at the wrong time?
Oh, definitely I would be worried about this game, maybe more than any other on the schedule, because I know my guys are looking ahead to that open week. I've got to keep them focused on the task ahead, make sure they take care of business in this one. Otherwise, you're talking about a double trap. The trap of losing the game and then having the open week and having to stew about it.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. Going to throw right side here. Complete. The 20. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Vikings' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Point after, right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it's polished off by a Viking score. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. No return here for Richard, and that will bring the ball out to the 25-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. Now, they dipped a game below 500 following the loss last week, and you get the sense that maybe this team's at a little bit of a crossroads here.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to put it, because what's that old malaprop? If you come to a fork in the road, take it. Because this crew, they're losing ground fast. They've got to start winning some ball games. And the good teams, they're starting to separate themselves, and these guys are being left behind.
The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, You can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
65 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own.
And this is caught. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. A great play there. 48 yards. And the Cardinals have taken the lead. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. But sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. And that's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long, man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Sitting in first place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
It certainly does, because if they can get the win here and pad their lead a bit or at least keep pace, then they can really kick their feet up and say a job well done at this point and not have to worry about ball at all until they're back in their facility, back in their meeting room, getting ready for the next game.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Gary. He finds his man, complete. That's Potter. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run. So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Looking to throw. Gary. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw again. Gary. And he comes back with one complete. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 23. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Ready?
On 1st down, Gary. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Back to throw. Gary escaping the pressure right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
look to throw on 3rd and goal. Eluding the pressure right. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. So they opted to pass for it on 3rd and goal. Let's see what they do on 4th and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on 4th and goal. So they've got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
They stop him up short on 4th and goal from the 1. And this Cardinal defense comes up with a goal line stand. So that's the second time this game they've given it up on 4th down. They're now 1 for 3 on 4th down conversion tries.
But they must feel good about what they're doing, right? They continue to go for it on 4th down. Give the defense a lot of credit, though. They've stopped them 2 out of 3 times. Usually you have 4th down plays that you have dialed up and ready to go and you think are going to be successful. Not so far in this game.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Clayton. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it makes him 3rd down and 2 yards to go. Now a handoff up the middle. Fisher. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. 4th down now after a loss of 2. Here comes the Cardinals punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the Vikings will be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10.
Minnesota's offense takes over possession. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Looking to throw. Gary looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Potter. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
On 3rd down, Gary. Throw left side complete. That's Warner.
And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. And the Cards are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line.
You got to know as a quarterback it's going to be tough to outthink this guy in the defensive backfield. He's been at it 11 years now, so he knows all the ins and outs of the position, and he's in the right spot there to come up with the interception.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Well, here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle.
They'll start at the 40, so great starting field position following the interception.
First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Off play action. Clayton sliding out of the pocket. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Up the middle they go. Fisher.
72 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
And the Vikings are going to beef up their secondary here. 6 DBs on third. Back to throw. Clayton. And a quick throw here. That's complete.
And they're going to get this up to midfield.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on third down. And he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a first down.
Broke the one tackle, but couldn't spring himself free.
The Vikings going to take over now late in this first half.
And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Throwing on first down. Gary, he's going to loft one deep left side here. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
So a PI call going to cost him there defensively. What did you see?
Well, I think it's the right call, partner, because sometimes we'll see officials kind of let them play. But by the letter of the law, that's definitely a penalty.
On 1st and 10, Gary is going to float this over the middle deep, and that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so are they going to be diligent about throwing the flag.
And incomplete on the deep ball. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Gary. Touchdown! Vikings. A great effort there in the final seconds of the first half.
And the Vikings have a chance to tie the game here in the final seconds of the half. What a first half he is compiling here. He's already over 100 yards receiving and now 2 touchdowns, CD.
Brandon, you know I don't like to play the game where you start projecting when you're at a certain point. But let's face it, he's off to a tremendous start. So 200 yards, 4 touchdowns. I don't think anything's out of the question right now. He's blowing up coverages. You've got to double him every snap. Otherwise, he's going to defeat you on almost every play.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away.
This one fielded at the 5.
So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a time ball game here heading to break. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. Next, we head off to check out another game. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting Atlanta Falcons. The Buccaneers are going to need to put together one heck of a run in the second half. But the win does move them to 3-6 on the year. And finally, on Monday Night Football, they've got a good one lined up between the Houston Texans and the LA Rams. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. This offense ready for the first drive of the third quarter. Well, quarters number 1 and 2 entertaining. We saw some good offense points put up, Charles, and all tied on the scoreboard.
And it sets us up for what could be a really fun second half because we've seen both sides score almost at will here in the first half. And now, here in the second half, getting the ball first, you got to think, hey, we can go out and really run our offense the way we did in the first half. But if I'm a defensive player, all I'm thinking is, can I make a play to really help out my team and break this streak of offense?
On first down, Clayton, and his throw is incomplete.
He already came through for them on this drive. No surprise that they were hoping he could do it again.
So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Throwing again, Clayton. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. Looking to throw. Clayton. He completes it to Tompkins. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. But forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
But defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
On 2nd down, it's Fisher, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 79 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. Back to throw. Clayton, and that is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Cardinals have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half. The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 21-14. So this drive spans 7 plays. And the Cardinals cap it with a touchdown. The Cardinals set now to kick this one away, and off we go.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. And the Cardinals are going to take possession of the football. Well, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
On second down now, It's Fisher, and he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it first and goal. Looking to throw. Clayton. They still kick, and he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Now a handoff up the middle. Fisher, and he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
Interested to see what they dial up here. 3rd and goal with a lot of green between them and the end zone.
Back to throw. Clayton. And he's got his man in stride, complete.
And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
Brandon, a good idea there on 3rd down. Run a little clear out and hope you can get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop him well short.
And his kick here is good.
And the lead works its way up to 10, 24-14. So they got the turnover started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. Goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
And the Vikings now heading onto the field.
And this offense trying to change the script here a little bit, CD. Trailing on the scoreboard in the last time out on the very first play of the drive, they threw that interception.
And you definitely saw his coaches, teammates come over to him on the sideline, tried to help him shake it off because in this game, his team is down right now. So it's important to make sure you get some confidence back for both the quarterback and the entire offense.
A touchdown, Vikings! A big play there. His first touchdown on the year.
And the Vikings have cut it back within a score.
As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. It's up and good, and this now becomes a 24-21 ball game. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. Their lead down to a field goal now as they start with a 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Clayton looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Fisher. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. Now we're going to get a stoppage here as we've got an injured Cardinal on the field.
So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
On 2nd down, it's Fisher looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. From the gun on 3rd down, Clayton. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Well, that frustration, Charles, it's been building on the defensive side of the ball, and unfortunately there it turns into a roughing the passer penalty.
Yeah, and they should be frustrated because he's picked them apart the entire game, but it's got to come out in a different way. You can't hit him illegally. Stop him downfield the way you're supposed to.
And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. To throw on second down, Clayton. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Clayton staying on his feet. And he'll just get rid of it.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Let's go, D. Right there. 54. Right there. Right there. 54, Mike. Check me out. Check me out. Check me out. Mike 5-4.
Operating from the gun. Clayton. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to swell the lead to 6. And his kick is good. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down.
The Vikings head out to take over once again. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on 1st down.
Throwing to start the drive. Gary flushed out right. He's got a man complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A gain of 37.
Well, this is where an offense needs to show what it's made of, and in fact, where a quarterback needs to show what he's made of, trying to engineer a 4th quarter comeback, and he hits a big one right there.
Throwing on 1st down. Gary buying time to his left. And that's going to be incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Bringing it in, Jackson left side. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. That's a third down conversion to 24 yards there. Nice play.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Operating from the gun, Gary.
It's Jackson again on the reception.
And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. They come up on a 1st and goal, and most likely 4-down territory as they need a touchdown and the PAT for the lead. Operating from the gun, Gary. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the night.
And the Vikings are an extra point away from going back on top here in the 4th.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
Hey, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
No return here for Richard, and that will bring the ball out to the 25-yard line.
Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over.
And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the 4th quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one.
Throwing to start the drive. Clayton. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
No sense risking anything there on 1st down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who could make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Clayton. Pass incomplete.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hopefully they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a 1st down.
To throw on 3rd down. Clayton, he finds his man, complete. That's Fisher. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the 1st as the tackle is made at the 33. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here comes the Cardinals punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. This is taken at the 18.
13 yards, the tally on the return there. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
So here are the Vikings to take over. They've gone 2 months without a loss, 8 straight wins for them. And they've got the lead here in this one as well, trying to make it 9 in a row. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the 1st down as well. 4th quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line.
So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their 2nd. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry.
And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line.
Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the 1st down as he's tackled at the 1. It'll go as a gain of 9, and that should write an ending to this one. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
So they brought the extra bulk in down on the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football, hat on a hat, chest to chest, driving forward, touchdown.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and a little bit of a surprise they lose the turnover battle but wind up winning the ball game.
And this is very unusual because you know all teams stress winning the turnover battle as a key indicator to winning ball games. So when you get something that goes against the grain like the one we saw here, it's quite the oddity. Now let's face it, they'll be very happy that they pulled this off. But they do know that in the future, they've got work on taking care of the football because this won't happen very often.
So for the Vikings, the train just keeps rolling 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Arizona, they fall 2 games under 500 now at 3-5. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.